Alright guys, welcome back. We're sitting in the 99 Durango. As you can see, it is a new year. It is 2024. And it is time to start working on this thing again. And all we've got left to do, I say all we've got left to do, what's on the docket right now is to get this dash pulled out so we can get the mouse condos out of the heater box and everywhere else under here they may exist. I need to refresh myself here, what we're looking at. We need to pull a cluster out, which just looks to be like any other Dodge of this era, 1, 2, 3, and 4 bolts. Or not bolts, but number 2 Phillips screws. Got to pull the radio. That is 2 10mm bolts. Probably pull this climate control, looks like 4 Phillips head screws. And then it looks like this dash trim here over the top is just a bunch of Phillips screws going all the way across the top and around and on the bottom here, and looks like down here as well. And I bet you that whole thing will come off as one piece up and over. I'm sure we got to get the steering wheel out of here in some fashion. There's a little metal bar here that's got to go away. I'm not quite sure what that involves. It looks like if we get right there, you can't see it, but I can. There's a couple of 10mm up here, probably 4. I see 2 visible, but I bet you there's 4 and they're 10mm nuts. Yeah, I'm gonna start ripping all the controls out here, and I'll bring you back as I get into it. But we're gonna try to do it all with this 1/4-inch power torque set here from O'Reilly's that I conveniently put back together this morning out of 2 sets I had ripped out. So we'll work from there. I got a seat sitting in here too. Just sitting here, not bolted in or anything, but it makes it easier for me anyway. Okay, so I got the climate out. It's got one harness here, and then you got a vacuum harness that's got these, it's on like 2 plastic studs. You got these guys here you got to take out. Those are 10mm, and then the vacuum guy will pull out. And then you got this guy right here, which you got to pop the clip out from the back side. So this right here. Get a screwdriver in right there, pop that clip, and then you can slide it around and get it out of the groove. But then I got the cluster, the 4 bolt or screws out, and then you pull the cluster straight back. It's got 2 plugs here that it'll pull off of, and then you gotta like finagle it and twist it here because you got your gear select here, and right now it's just 2 Phillips screws here to pull the gear select out and separate it from the cluster so you can separate it. Or I'm sure you could go in and unhook this wire, but I think it'll be easier just to pull it from here. Okay, so it actually looks like this plastic stays on here. There's 5 bolts going across the top, they're 5/16. And then you've got a 13 on this side, you just got to loosen because it's slotted here. And then you got a 13 on that side, you got to loosen. And then in front of the airbag computer, there's that little bracket there. I think that's 5 10mm bolts. And then you got the bracket in front of the steering wheel, or below the steering wheel, which is 4 Phillips screws, and then you got a couple wires and stuff. Then you got to get the parking brake release off too, but I'm not quite there yet. But whole dash is loose. There's a couple more spots where I think it's connected somewhere. I just got to look around and I'll find it, I guess. But it looks like it's just gonna slide off, and then we'd probably maneuver it around the steering wheel, and we'll pull the HVAC box out this way. Okay, it wasn't attached by anything else technically. I had to pull the A-pillars off and get your hand in here and you can get a good yank on it. It's just stuck. It's been there since, I don't think it's ever been out. But you got the dash loose here. So I'm going to finagle it back and forth here, and I'll see if I can get it. If you look here, there's a slot it can fall into and then probably rotate for doing service and stuff. So there's an engineer that thought about something there, but we'll see how well it works here. Yeah, it is coming out, it looks like, so that's good news. Okay, so I ended up taking this whole bolt out because this bracket was kind of stuck to the frame of the dash. And then I've got up here the main white plug out of the firewall plug, but getting it pulled out, and we see our first condo in there. See him hiding back there? So we're getting there. It's starting to get free. We're getting further anyway. I'm sure I'm going to find some other things that need to get undone, but Probably just electrical stuff as it slowly pulls itself backwards. This ground wire right here, had to pull this out too. So, forgot about the headlight switch. There's 3 Phillips there and then 2 plugs. Okay, so I unplugged 2 plugs down here that go up to that guy, which is probably, yep, that's the infinity amp. And then this whole side of the dash is dropped down, and we've got nice carnage up in there. Yum. I see a mouse sticking out of a heater box or a nest. I'm thinking we gotta drop the steering wheel to be able to get the driver's side to come out, as you can see. So what we'll do is we'll lower the 4 bolts and drop the steering wheel onto the seat here. And that should lower this out and allow us to pull it out and back. And then we've got access to the heater box. Yeah, look at that up in there. Lovely. Well, I think that's enough room to snake that out. So we got every connection on this side down there. There's a ground wire there. I got the fuse panel unscrewed and pulled back just to get a little bit more play out of that side. I think that's it. I think that's all we need to do. There should be enough room, and I can maneuver this a little bit. So, gotta get that out. Start vacuuming up that mess. To get that out, I assume there'll be bolts on the firewall. The hood, I think, is popped. So, yeah, we got to do the heater core lines here. So we got to pop those 2 lines off with 2 hose clamps right there. That'll take care of that side. I'm not quite sure what we got for bolts on the firewall. I see one, I think. Right there beside the heater core, there's a bolt with a stud on it, right there, or nut with a stud. So that'll need to come out. I hope there's none down there, but I'm worried there might be. Is there one over here? I see one down there. Below the is that the throttle input right there? Or that might be I think that's the cruise. This is the cruise box. So there's one below that, so we'll probably have to pull this cruise box out right there. Which are these bolts? Sorry, I see this. There, that's supposed to be on there, like that. It wasn't. So I see 2 for sure. What does it look like inside? Got this bracket here that needs to go. That might be a 3rd one down there, but that also might be the drain. Oh, we gotta get this hose off right here. Gotta get him pulled out, otherwise it'll fight us. Let's start with that, and I'll go from there. Okay, I got some progress here. I got the 2 heater core lines off. And this vacuum line right here. And then I got that 11mm nut off that requires a deep well socket. If you look on that bottom heater core line, you might be able to see it. I kind of crushed it, unfortunately, trying to wiggle that hose off with a hose pliers. So, you know, that's cool. So we'll see if I can save that once that's out, or I screwed myself. But yeah, I got those 2 on this side, or 3 connections, 4, I guess if you count the vacuum line. Now we've got to get this guy out of the way, the cruise control box or module vacuum thingy. And it looks like one of them is a 10 and one is a 13. And then we'll back that out, get that out of the way, hopefully, and then we should be able to access the 11mm for that as well. And I hope that's it. I doubt it, but I hope. Having a damn Chrysler moment here. The last bolt is behind the transmission dipstick tube. Why? Why? I bent it a little bit so I could get the wrench on it, so I could get back there, and I gotta get at it with a wrench. Oh, I got it out. So, there's, I think, 4 nuts on the firewall. one right there by the heater core, one over here by the AC, which you have to undo. Oh, and then one right there in the middle up top, and then one down below, which is behind the transmission dipstick, as you may or may not have seen. So that's stupid. That was a bad design. You could have like put it like this way, like that far, and it would have been perfect. But no, we gotta put it behind the transmission dipstick where I can't get it. Whatever, it's fine. I pulled the vacuum line out, and I pulled, this guy's coming. He's free back here for the, this vent change right there. So I got it out. I'm gonna bring it out, blow it off outside, and then I'm gonna bring it in and take the top off and start disassembling it. Yummy. There's part of a nest. There's more. I don't see any in the fan, funny enough, which is why the fan works. And obviously we got that big one up there. I'm curious what else we'll find. Well, I'm getting ready to put the heater core and, you know, the HVAC box back in here, and had a vent here that had a bad seal here. So what I did is you get some of this, you get this foam stick tape stuff. You get this at Home Depot. It's for like windows and door seams and stuff. Use that on there. That should at least help a little bit. But otherwise, this one's okay and everything. So, but that'll help a lot. Otherwise, no matter what, you'll get air to blow by here, and it won't be as strong. So. Alright guys, I didn't get as far as I wanted to here, but got the heater core lines on, got my vacuum line on. As you can see, it's not a soft line, because when I was pushing the HVAC box through, because it's really cold out today, I actually snapped that vacuum line. So I got it right there, you can see where the hard line is, and then I got it onto a rubber vacuum line and then into the bit right there, so that'll do just fine. And then I've got as you can see, the air conditioning module is back in. It is plugged in and the clip is locked. Got this ground wire up top here in. There's a ground wire I accidentally took off down below that didn't need to come out. I've got that 11 mil in and the clip for the heater hose. I've got all the AC stuff back in and sealed. You know that one down there behind the dipstick? No, I did not put that back in. Was I going to attempt it? Yes, but I dropped it and it's gone. So, but, well, here's the inside. As you can see, with that one missing, that thing ain't going anywhere. I broke that bolt off, or that screw off in there. I dug that out and I was able to put a different screw on it, so that's cool. I think I only had one extra screw. Two if you count the one I put in here. So I had two extra screws in that, so there's two missing somewhere, but we'll ignore that. Everything's in there, seems to work. The vacuum lines are all sitting loose over there. But yeah, that's all in anyway. I vacuumed up and wiped this down the best I could. Got back here and wiped that all down, and I used the vacuum, stuck through those vents, and then blew through them on both sides. So should be ready next time I work on this, probably tomorrow afternoon, but you never know. Start putting this. Oh, I found here. When I was back there, see that ground cable right there? It's supposed to go right there. You should be able to see him. He was snapped off, so I put a new end on him. So I got to remember to fix that when I'm in there. But I got to start hooking the wires back up and sliding the dash over and all that good jazz. Then should be able to drop the dash in there. So that'll be cool. But because I'd like to get the dash in. Once the dash is in here and I got it hooked up, I can run the heat, and then I can work in here, and it's not terrible. I ran that out of propane. There wasn't very much in that, but I had just enough to at least wipe the, all the leftover hard mouse remains out, because it was freezing when I would spray the dash down. It'll still have to get a deep scrub, but we'll do that once it's all back together.
2 weeks later.
Oh, it's been a couple weeks, but we're back working on the Durango here. I got the fan hooked up. I got the cable routed wrong, but it's too late. And then we've got the ground, the two for the amp, and then the antenna hooked back in. So this side's all hooked back in. So now we just got to do the driver's side stuff. Well, that's better. We're getting there. I got all of the... I got this ground, I guess. I got the white plug in. I got that white plug, and I got that black one. There's a blue plug up there, but I don't think mine had anything plugged into it. So we're going to send without it. I got these plugged in right here. I got my ground that I repaired screwed down there. And then I had to re-hook up this PR&D switch because I accidentally knocked it off. But here's how it hooks in. This slides into that slot. As you can see, mine's not all the way set in that slot right now, but it loops around here, and then you put the copper hook under, and then on top of that you put this spring here, and then that spring sits like that. In case you mess yours up, there's how it's supposed to go. I had to sit there and fiddle with it a little bit, but if I had to put it back together right away, I might have remembered, but I waited 3 weeks, so naturally. Here's where your HVAC connections, they route up through here, and then this guy routes up through here. And I've got these two metal black bars in. I don't have it screwed in down there, but they go under the top steering wheel where the steering wheel pedestals are. And then you got that up. I got these just hand screwed in there holding the wheel up. So now we'll slide the cluster in there, screw this into it, and then cluster's in. And then I think I'm going to locate the switches, kind of just plug everything in and make sure everything works. So I think that's about where we're at now. So progress. I have no idea how I got that in there with the steering wheel up, with that PR&D switch hooked up. I had to lower the steering wheel while sitting in it and hold it up, and then I could slide the cluster in there. Now, sure, get it plugged in here. I think it is, but I'm gonna get the battery, hook up these switches, fire it up quick, hopefully. Well, I hooked the battery up, and I must have something pressed because I got the flashers on. So we got power. Door dinger. Whoa. Gauges. Mileage. If I can reach in here. Oh, she's alive. Oh, the horn just knocked all the snow down. Charging, oil pressure, fuel, RPM, brake. So, wait, the ABS light's off. What did we do to fix the ABS light? Unless it burned out or something. Wasn't the ABS light on before? Because the brake could be just something up here unhooked, or I don't know, whatever. Huh. So look at that. Unless something's not hooked up, but the fan don't work. Or no, it's set to off, dumbass. Oh, I hear vacuum. Set that. I don't hear a fan. Uh-oh. Oh, there it goes. Oh, and it blows. Does it switch vents? Please switch. Okay, set to off. You're doing things. Oh, there it goes. Kind of blowing out of there now. While we're running, well, we'll let it warm up, see what it does. That's a good sign. Anyway, lights work? Yep. Blinker. Oh, we got a blinker out. That's cool. Dome lights work. Let's jump over to the passenger side to play with the radio. Waiting for that to open up so we can get fluid in the heater core. Oh, it's on. Don't got signal. Am I missing a ground or something? Yeah, I am. Where's the ground? Right? I think. Something ain't right. Yeah, there should be a ground screwed in there, I would think, like a ground strap. Wonder where that went. Huh. Interesting. Well, everything turns on anyway. Let's start with that being good. Alright, well, I'll bring you back when it warms up, hopefully. It still moves, so that's cool. Temp's starting to come up. Heat's blowing out of here good now. Or it's starting to blow anyway. Got something going. How about that? This should drop down once the thermostat opens up, because I know it's low. But it sounds good. It's running okay. Let's figure out what that... I think one of those bulbs is probably So, if I... Gotta be one of the front ones. Nope. And it's a miracle. It's fixed. Okay. You know, we're just gonna leave it at that. License plate light's working. Yeah, it's working fine now. How convenient. Wonder what that brake light is. So parking brake ain't pulled, right? You know what I'm saying? No, it's not. I'll have to look back in footage and figure out which light was on before. I thought it was the ABS light, but I could be wrong. Alright, so it's next morning here. Durango was out of gas and I need to idle it in the driveway to keep it warm in here so I can work. So I drove it into town and filled up the gas tank. We got 158,992 miles. I think I might drive it around and roll that over real quick. But I think I figured out why it would stall out and the computer would go no connection or no bus is what it would say. I think one of the plugs was loose on the computer. I'm not gonna lie. Because when I wiggled that, it came right back to life, and it's been fine since. So there you have it. So we're gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna drive this thing home, and we're gonna finish putting this dash together, and I think we're gonna clean out the interior and get the carpet put back in it. So very, very good. And yes, I do have the seat belt in, by the way, despite having no interior. Bolts hand tight there, and we're secured to the seat that's not bolted down. So safety third, guys. Look at that. I think we can test it in this one too. No, you can't. That one's strictly power. This one's strictly cigarette. I can smell that thing. Looks like it's barely been used though. Look at that. Coil's in perfect shape. Wow, all of the dash lights are gone. Remember when I was saying we had an ABS light? Well, I think, I don't know, just sitting over the last 2 months with the battery undone has cleared the ABS code. This was just barely engaged because I just took this back up, pulled it, and boom, lights out. We have no dash lights once again, or for the first time, I'm gonna say. That's a win right there. Look at that. We're coming along pretty good. I got this all screwed in. I got this screwed back in with all these screws that I didn't have to take out. Got all 4 screws in the climate control. Getting fancy here, putting them all back in. Got both screws in the radio. I gotta go in. That's what I needed to grab. I've been forgetting. There's something I had needed to go and grab. Some wipes here so I can clean this switch off, and then I can screw that in. Then we gotta put this panel back on over the cluster. I gotta go downstairs and get this panel. I can put that in. This light's burned out, but I don't care. I can change that later. I gotta put the glove box in, which is sitting right here. I was able to take this apart in 3 pieces because there was a mouse nest in here, and the bottom was just so full of liquid mouse. So you're able to take it apart here. Notice that missing screw there because the boss has broken off in there, so we're gonna ignore that. Typical 90s Chrysler plastic, but you take those 4 off to get this panel off, and then you can split the inner and outer cover too. and then I was able to scrub that all out. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. It's nice and warm in here, and I'm glad that the dash lights are out. That's really, really cool, actually. Okay, so I've been sitting here struggling, trying to figure out where this light went. Like, I knew it was the ashtray bulb, but, like, I couldn't figure out where it went. I had to look up a diagram online, and I realized I was missing this piece, because it looks like it clips in right there if I put that in. So yeah, let's screw that in real quick, and then guess what? I think we'll be in business here. Just in case you forget. Alright, dash is all the way back in, guys, except I forgot just now. I gotta put those screws in. I forgot about that. But otherwise, the dash is all the way in. I got all the trim on. It needs to be deep cleaned, you know. You see bits and pieces here. I just got a pretty quick scrub over, so once we get the interior all back in, we'll detail it proper. But now I got to get all of this mess. Notice my spare bolts bucket. Yeah, gotta get all of this stuff out, and then we gotta vacuum it out, get everything out of here. And then I think I gotta take care of these vents right here, because these are full of mouse. So I gotta finish taking that out, clean them out. I got the rest inside, and then we can, I think, lay the carpet in here. So, oh, I gotta patch that hole I made. I gotta put a plate over that and just screw it on. So, gotta take care of that too. And then I think while we're doing the metal work, we might as well screw a chunk of something over that too. And then we gotta take this out quick so we can clean and scrub under there as well while we're in here. But I gotta take all the stuff back out. Alright, got the interior cleaned back out, got this pulled out. Beware of that guy. That guy's gonna be fun to get back on, but I gotta get the shop vac out here, vacuum all this crap up that has kind of fallen out of everything because this vehicle was vacuumed like 3 times. So get that done, and then I got the vents all soaking inside, so I get the crap that's inside of them out. But I gotta scrub this down, bolt that back in, make progress. we got our floors patched. That one turned out pretty good. Got it sealed up around the sides pretty well. We've got this like factory sound deadening stuff, so it sucked into that real well. So I think it sealed it up good enough for what we're doing. And then I stuck a couple in the middle to suck the panel we cut back up towards it. So that's gonna do it for that. The ones back here didn't turn out so well, mostly because the floor kept punching through. But this one's okay. I got it to where it, you know, it's not stuff directly coming in. That one's all right too. There's some of those are for show, but hey, it's in there. It covers the hole. That's what we're going for. All right, we got the vents back in. Had to duct tape that one up. So, but now we're working, getting the headliner out. So I got the overhead console and those sun visors down. These clips, I don't understand. I don't understand why couldn't you just put a screw in them like you do with every other one, Chrysler? This one I was able to get out. You have to like pry this up and pop it, and then this allows these to pop out. This one I didn't end up so lucky with. It's broke in a few spots, so you know, that's cool. But I got the overhead console off, and here's why I'm doing this. As you can see, it looks like rodents did get up there. See this wire here? I mean, it's in one piece and it still works, but it's been chewed on, so we're gonna tape that up proper before we put it back up. That just means they're up there. Same thing for these rear clips. So you have to kind of wiggle this outer piece out, and then it lets you pop the whole clip out. I broke one, I got one out. I don't understand the over-engineering here. Like, put a screw in it with a cap, like this right here. Why can't we do that? Whatever. This is why we took that down. Not bad, but there's a nest and there's poop. So we're gonna vacuum that up quick, and then we'll throw the headliner back up. Nest up there too, sneaky buggers. Looking at the wiring, I think it's fine. I'll look closely, but I think we're all right. Remember how I said this, or we noticed that this floor is all bent up here? Look up here. That's right above that. See how the roof skin's all black? I think it's got a replacement roof skin on it, and I think this has all been punched back out. I bet you something landed here. Yeah. I bet you something landed on the car right here, or hit it on this side. Look at that. At some point in its life. I thought some of these clips looked like they had been off before, and all these bolts for the stuff up in the headliner. Well, that explains it right there. It's been in an accident. Huh, isn't that neat? Yeah, look at the welds right there. Wow. Well, the more you know.